All right, guys, Fontana Dam. So, okay, guys, Fontana Dam. Of course, another interesting story. Did 14.4 yesterday. Supposed to do 15.2. Came down off of big hill out of Jacob's Ladder. Knees, everything really hurting, and said, listen, and that basically complemented the issue that I had mentioned yesterday, which was that I woke up to a soaked quilt, Revelation quilt, and everything else soaked, of course, from the rain. And then today was, as you can see, maybe last night was freezing. All the trees have ice on them, and we've got snow flurries this morning. So when I hit the Yellow Creek Road, I called over to Paradise on Yellow Creek, bed and breakfast. Said, come pick me up. They did. I'm there last night and tonight, but I haven't really taken, well, that's not true. When Elle was there, we took a True Zero at Neil Gap, but since then, I've done Nero's or slack packing, and that's what I'm doing today. From Yellow Creek Gap to Fontana Dam, but because there were others that were coming up here, well, actually sauerkraut, it worked out that I am actually going to do a north to south for this slack pack. So that's what I'm doing now, back to Yellow Creek, so that they can pick me up more readily. And then I will head back out from the dam tomorrow up into the Smokies. So let's get with it. The lake at Fontana Dam. Nice winter scene. Very pretty, even with it being so misty. So, continuing along, I just wanted to say real quickly, I realize I have been rambling in a lot of these videos, but just wanted to say real quickly that the Yellow Creek Paradise bed and breakfast is super nice. Jeff and Cynthia there really take care of you. Doesn't hold a lot of people in the house, but there's also tenting there. And in my instance, I had heavy rains and very low cloud cover that actually soaked my quilt. And when I put the quilt in my construction bag, soaked my sleep clothes. And last night, you can kind of see on the trees, there was fairly heavy icing. So it wasn't an option for me to stay overnight. So when I hit the Yellow Creek River there, or a road there, it's only 1.5 miles down the road. Had Cynthia come pick me up. Then Jeff dropped me off with sauerkraut this morning. Sauerkraut headed into the Smokies. And And I'm just gonna SOBO slack pack back to Yellow Creek River. And then tomorrow, which is Tuesday, weather's supposed to be cold but good Tuesday through Friday of this week. So I figured that's a good time to get into the Smokies. And so that's what I'm gonna do starting tomorrow. I just saw back east, that couple. They're heading up into the Smokies today. So they're looking great. Morale was high. They're making great progress. So yeah, hopefully I'll catch up with them again. Spend some time chatting about our experiences. But in the meantime, I'm gonna pound out these 8 miles as quickly as I can and get back to the hot tub at the Yellow Creek bed and breakfast there. Okay. So my decision to do a SOBO slack pack, maybe not the best one. Slack pack's fine. Being out here in the weather's fine. This is actually very pretty, very attractive, much better than the rain. It's windy, but not crazy. But what was described to me as the slow, gradual descent on my typically NOBO route, following a sort of an intense ascent. So an intense ascent and then a gradual descent all the way down to the dam. As a SOBO is obviously just the opposite. So it has been a never-ending back-breaking ascent. At some point here, I should be hitting the actual ridge line to a steep descent, which in North Carolina generally translates into bone-jarring, knee-crushing, rock-scrambling descents. So we will see, but I'm still on the ascent, at least 6 miles into this. It hasn't stopped. I meant to show you from the sort of the precipice of one of the overlooks how steep and far of a drop it is down to Fontana Dam from this mountain peak or ridgetop. But as is always the case, I was so exhausted I couldn't bring myself to break out the phone. So I will hopefully finish up this little bit more to the ridgetop. Just wanted to bring you up to speed on this leg of my journey. So thought I was through with the uphills and just facing downhills about a half a mile back, but not really. So I think now I'm finally to the downhills, and I've got a little over a mile to take me back to Yellow Creek Road. I really, you know, all this contemplation of as you're grinding through this, I really, in North Carolina, give it to the SOBOs. Maybe it's the way the whole trip is. You know, it seems like here the trails are so designed for the nobos, because what we consistently find as nobos is that the trail in North Carolina will sweep you around to, like, the mountain, to the steepest part of it, and then have you ascend basically vertically right up it. And then, after as many false summits as they can find, you'll finally have to reach the top. And on the backside are consistently like these long, sweeping downhills that take you across, you know, every rock scramble, stream crossing, washout, whatever obstacle that the trail designers, you know, can find on that particular mountain face or rock face. Well, the SOBOs, this is my first SOBO section, and the SOBOs have, you know, like in this instance, 6.5 miles of ascent, sweeping back and forth across that mountain face to hit every obstacle you can find, only to finally hit the same peak, and then to descend precipitously, plummet to earth on that same vertical descent that the nobos have as an ascent, before they sweep back around the mountain to the next one. So I really give it to the SOBOs, because in all honesty, well, it wasn't actually what brought this up to me was I met a day hiker heading Nobo and chatted her with her for a second and said, so why, you know, do you live here? Yep. And, you know, do you do this? She said, yeah, fairly regularly. And I said, why are you going Nobo? Her response was, if you live here and you know this area, you only do SOBO once in your lifetime. That's enough. So that's what got me thinking about not just this, but all of the ones that we went through up Jacob's Ladder and everything else. In getting here, basically, if you think about when you cross from Georgia into North Carolina, back to that mountain and that climb that I said was, you know, dangerously close to neglectful endangerment. Really, that's what has been the model since then, is these really wicked ascents with these sweeping descents over all of these obstacles. So anyway, here's to the SOBOs. I apologize for making you aware of what you're about to face as you come down through this neck of the woods, but I'm sure New Hampshire and others have things in store for us when we finally get there. So I'm just going to continue on with here. It's getting still quite cold, snowy, so I don't know how much I'm going to keep my hand out here in the cold for more video. I may just catch up with you at Fontana Dam in the morning as we head into the Great Smoky Mountains.
Sometimes you do what you got to do to get through, you know, a hard hike. There was snow out here this morning. Now it looks pretty nice. Feels good, I'll tell you that. Did the slack pack from Fontana Dam back to the Yellow Stream road. It took me about 3.5 hours. I think it's 7.5 miles or something like that. It was not the day to be doing a fastest known time, I'll tell you that. It was very slick. 1+ inches of snow falling at the time. You saw it. Anyway, so this was a nice break to come back and be able to relax the muscles. One of the benefits of finding the right spot to stay when you have to. Tomorrow, first thing, back to Fontana Dam and start the Great Smokies. So for now, I'll leave you with your adieu.